Yesterday, Nancy Pelosi was asked whether people that are politicians should be allowed to actually hold individual stocks or not. And her answer was absolutely absurd. Here is the exact video so you yourself can go ahead and judge for yourself.
Madam Speaker, Insider just completed a 5-month investigation finding that 49 members of Congress and 182 senior congressional staffers have violated the Stock Act, the insider trading law. I'm wondering if you have any reaction to that, and secondly, should members of Congress and their spouses be banned from trading individual stocks while serving in Congress?
No, I don't know to the second one. We have a responsibility to report in the stock on the stock, but I'm not familiar with that 5-month review. But if people aren't reporting, they should be. Because this is a free market, and we are a free market economy. They should be able to participate in that.
What? Nancy Pelosi is claiming that we live in a free market economy. That is categorically false, and I can prove it. If we lived in a free market economy, then the Fed and the politicians wouldn't have stepped in and put trillions of dollars in quantitative easing. They wouldn't have manipulated interest rates with 2 emergency rate cuts last year. On top of that, if we lived in a free market economy, why is it that in our country, regulators and politicians won't allow anyone but rich people to actually invest in startups or private companies? The accreditation law is a perfect example. We do not live in a free economy. We live in an economy where the government believes 2 things. 1, that they can protect you. And 2, there should be rules for you, but not for them. It is absolutely insane that we have politicians absolutely gaslighting Americans, claiming that the reason why they should hold individual stocks, especially stocks where they're buying options, stocks that they're buying in the exact companies of the industries that they are overseeing or potentially even legislating over. And their excuse is that we live in a free market economy. I personally believe that if we lived in a free market economy, then why is it that the politicians won't allow everyone else to live by the same rules that they do? That is the ultimate hypocrisy. Now, everyone knows that we don't live in a free market economy. And on top of that, everyone understands that if we actually lived in a free market economy, that American citizens, not the politicians, would be better off. But of course, we always live in a free market economy, or at least that's what they claim, when it benefits them. But the second that free market economy may hurt them, when their stock portfolios start to go down, then all of a sudden they don't want to live in a free market economy anymore. They want to intervene in the market. They want to manipulate interest rates. They want to go ahead and conduct quantitative easing. They want to yell and scream and say, we need to save people. People are suffering, and we are here to stop it. Ultimately, this is a joke. That's all that you can describe it as. Politicians should not hold individual stocks. The only reason why politicians would want to hold individual stocks is because they want to make money. And if we have politicians that want to get rich, maybe they shouldn't be politicians at all. A political seat is a public servant. You are elected by the people to represent us. We do not elect you to go and get rich. We do not elect you so that you can get inside information and go ahead and trade on it. Instead, what you should focus on is not what your portfolio is doing or what stocks you own or what your annualized return is. But instead, you should actually spend time representing us. And so ultimately, to solve this problem, we should just pay the politicians a bigger salary. Pay them all $5 million each. Shit, they're creating trillions of dollars. Where's that all go? Somehow they're trying to get it in their pocket anyways. So let's just give them the $5 million of annual salary and tell them you're not allowed to own individual stocks. You're not allowed to trade. You're not allowed to do anything that potentially could be seen as being unethical. Ultimately, we've seen central bankers, they had this problem. We had central bankers that were day trading the exact same assets that they were purchasing on behalf of the central bank. It's absurd. But we need to have a louder voice. These politicians have lost their minds. They're continuing to buy and sell the very same stocks that they legislate. And any time that you have somebody who's going options and leverage long, you got to start asking yourself, what gives the politician the expertise to do that? Why are they so sure in those financial investments? It's been a long time since we've seen a politician be a bad investor. I've never heard of a politician losing money as an investor. Maybe that's the exact problem, is that when you're a politician and you're allowed to buy individual stocks, you essentially have a risk-free trading environment. You have a risk-free investment. You know what's going to happen because you're the one who has a big hand in making it happen. And that's the problem. Now, I don't agree with AOC on a lot of things, but on this, we see eye to eye. AOC had a great point. She's got the tweet here that says it's absolutely ludicrous that members of Congress can hold and trade individual stocks while in office. The access and influence we should be exercised for the public interest, not our profit. It shouldn't be legal for us to trade individual stocks with the info that we have. And ultimately, that's what I believe as well. This is insane. And Nancy Pelosi is flat out wrong.